is climate change? What are the effects of climate change? And what can you do? These effects of climate change could be very dangerous for humanity. And if you are aware of the various issues of climate change and the adverse effects of climate change, you can save humanity. That is, you can save yourselves, the society, and the world, because you are important. So, here, allow me to mention the concept of essence. I'm starting with you. Professor explained the science, and now I'm coming to you. All right? So I'm starting with you. Are you aware of this concept of essence? You know what is essence? Sara, gist. Flower essence, perfume. All right? You understand that? So, will you be surprised if I say that you are the essence of the entire material universe? Will you be surprised? You are the essence. You are that important. And why do I say that? And what is material universe? This is planet Earth. Planet Earth is a part of the solar system. Yes? Solar system is a part of the Milky Way galaxy. Yes? Yes, sir. And then Milky Way is a part of, in the past we used to use the word nebula. We are not using that anymore. We used to say that Milky Way galaxy is a part of Andromeda nebula. Yes? But nebula these days, we are not using the term, we are just saying big galaxy. And then that is a part of the universe. Yes? So now I'll take you back to Chandogya Upanishad, as described now Upanishad, alright? Very interesting. Now how is it related to science? I know some of you are very worried now. How is it related to science? Alright? Now, the concept of essence in Chandogya Upanishad. That is, essence of the entire material universe is planet Earth. Can you hear me? Yes. Am I audible? Yes. All right. Essence of the entire material universe is planet Earth. Essence of planet Earth is water. Essence of water is plant. Listen to me this carefully and remember this all your life. And essence of plant is water. Essence of water is, I'm getting confused. Essence of the planet Earth is water. Essence of water is plant. Essence of plant is human being. Essence of human being is speech. So how you speak is your essence. Remember that. Is that clear? So learn to communicate well. I'm taking like a class. Professor explained the science part. I'm now teaching you. All right? So essence of a human being is speech. And essence of speech, here it becomes theology. Theology, you understand? Religion. Teachings of religion. Alright? Essence of speech is Rigveda. Essence of Rigveda is Samaveda. We don't have to go into that. But this is what it says. And essence of Samaveda is Chandogya Upanishad. Essence of Chandogya Upanishad is Om. Alright, I won't go into the spiritual side. But what I want to tell you is that Chandogya Upanishad is beautiful because it explains that you are important. You are the essence of the entire material universe. Because this climate is changing, the world climate is changing, it will have many adverse effects. How are we going to protect ourselves? Who will protect us? We ourselves can protect us. Yes? Is there anybody else to protect us? So you must realize that you are important. You are very important. Yes? Do you realize that? Never underestimate yourself. Is that clear? There is genius in all of you. Alright, so in that connection I'll tell you again a story from Chandogya Upanishad. And then I'll come to climate change. This is the story of a father, Uddalaka, and his son Swetaketu. Swetaketu goes to Gurukula. Like you have come to a school to study. Father Uddalaka sent his son Swetaketu to a great teacher for higher education. There he studied for 12 years and then he came back. Father saw the son, Swetaketu, rather conceited. You understand what is conceited? Arrogant. At times you become arrogant when you are with your grandmother who does not know how to play with the, smartphone. You are teaching her how to play with the smartphone. You become very arrogant because she doesn't know anything, isn't it? Yes or no? Some of you do become arrogant because you have acquired a little skill which your grandmother doesn't have. Yes? That's not good. That is not nice. All right? Because they are much older, the skills were not there in those days. You have them, but that need not make you arrogant. All right, so when he saw his son rather arrogant, he told him a series of 7 stories. Now I'll tell you the last story. And keep this story in your mind all your life. All right? Now I am telling you, 50 years down the track, you tell others. Yes? Yes, sir. And the story is, father says, son, do you see that large banyan tree? At a huge distance, there's a huge banyan tree. Yes, father, I see the large banyan tree. Son, could you fetch me a fruit from that banyan tree? Son goes and fetches a fruit from the banyan tree. And you know the fruit of a banyan tree only is the size of a berry. Tiny, small. Then father points out, son, see, for the size of the huge tree, the fruit is so small. This tiny fruit is the essence of this huge tree. Yes? Cut open the fruit, son, father asks. Son cuts open the fruit. And then father asks, what do you see, son? I see many tiny seeds, father. All right. See, for the size of this fruit, the seeds are so tiny. Cut open a seed, son. Son cuts open the seed. And then father asks, what do you see? I see nothing. Father says that nothing is the essence, my son. You see, you cut open a tiny seed, of course you see nothing. But that nothing is the essence, and that in Sanskrit is Tattvamasi. Tattvamasi you might have heard, some of you might have heard if you have taken interest in Sanskrit. And that in English is you are that. You are that means what? You are that essence. So for us, you are the younger generation, we are the older people. You are the future, you are the essence. And that is the reason why we are passing down this knowledge, information to you, so that you enrich yourselves and acquire the skills to save the planet Earth. So do you realize how important you are? Yes or no? Yes, sir. You are all important. Yes or no? Yes, sir. All right. Now we'll go to climate change. So once you become aware of the various issues that Professor pointed out, I'll explain some of them, then think over it. I'll go, and I have been asked to give a talk on the effects of climate change on the earth and the oceans, which you can also call the land and the sea. What are the effects of climate change? I'll start with the sea level rise. You have seen the sea, some of you. I would assume that all of you have been to Puri. You have seen the sea. Yes? Yes, sir. The level of the sea, we call it sea level. Yes? In geology, we use a term called strand line, so I will not go into geology. I'll make it simple. The sea level is rising slowly. For the last 18,000 years, it is rising. Yes? Now you take it from me. For the last 18,000 years, sea level has been rising. And it has risen by 130 meters. 130 meters. In feet, that's about 425 feet. Yes? Sea level has risen by 130 meters. When sea level rises by 1 meter, it transgresses by 1 kilometer. General rule of thumb for our kind of, we call it gradient or the slope of the land. 1 is to, so I'll not make it very technical. So for us, our type of land, let's say in Orissa, when the sea level rises by 1 meter, it will transgress, that will invade the land by 1 kilometer. Yes? So sea level has risen by 130 meters. So the sea has invaded by about 100 kilometers. Do you realize that? What is the Odisha's coastline? The length of Odisha's coastline is about 480 kilometers right now. Yes? Present political state that Odisha is, has a coastline of about 480 kilometers. By the end of this century, by the end of this 21st century, sea level will definitely rise by 1 meter, very likely by 2 meters. Yes? So if it rises by 2 meters, 480 into 2, that is about 1,000 square kilometers. 1,000 square kilometers of land area of the state of Odisha will be submerged, will be under the sea. Do you realize the problem? Do you think this is a huge problem? This is a huge problem. Now, what is the height of Bhubaneswar above sea level? Anybody? Let's say this area. Yes? These are the things you should know. All these won't be taught to you by the school, but this is what you should know. What is the height of this place, let's say, roughly? Anybody? Yes?
30 meters.
Sorry?
30 meters.
30 meters. You are very, very correct. Yes. Khandagiri is about. Very nice. Cuttack is about 23. All right. Khandagiri is about 45. All right. So 45 meters above sea level. All right. And here I'll tell you something again interesting. I'll go back to that depending on how much time you give me. That all the ice caps, ice sheets and the glaciers that are there on the Earth's surface, if they are to melt, sea level will rise by 80 meters. 80. Yes? So, if it rises by 2 meters in 100 years, how many years will it take to rise by 40 meters? Yes? Yes? How many years? 2,000 years, yes? We are talking about rise by 40 meters. 2 meters in 1 century. In 1,000 years, how many? 20 meters. Yes? Say yes loudly. Yes. Good. Then it will take 2,000 years. So in 2,000 years, Bhubaneswar will not be there. In 4,000 years, it will rise by 80 meters. Yes? Now, why is it rising in the first place? Why is it rising? First, because of natural reasons. That is the geological reasons. In geology, we talk about ice ages. The last ice age started something like 100,000 years ago, or about 110,000 years ago. We bring in lots of approximations there. And we say the last ice age ended 15,000 years ago. Some say 10,000 years ago. Why? Why do you say that? Some say 15,000, some say 10,000. Why? Some say because all the ice on the earth have not melted yet. So some say even the ice hasn't completely gone yet. You understand? Because the earth is vast. Yes, it's very large. So we assume it.